Today we're going to be doing awareness of breath, and I'd like you to just start in sitting. And sitting there, begin to just notice how you experience yourself breathing. Try not to really change your breathing or make it the right kind of breathing or do what you think you've heard in the past. It's hard not to change once we've been given a direction, but if you can catch yourself in the act of being you, in your natural state of breathing, and feel if you sense your breath in your trunk, and where in your trunk as your lungs expand and deflate with the inhalation and the exhalation. What moves? Do you feel movement in your lower abdomen, in your chest, in your ribs? Is there any breath movement in your sides, in your back? Good, and we'll come back to this later, so please lie down on your backs. And just come back to your sensations of breathing. Where is the breath alive in you? Breathing is the most basic of human life. It's an expression of how you are in the world. So how is your breath now? Does it move freely and easily? And are you aware of any constrictions, tightnesses, places where you don't feel the breath moving your bones, your ribs, your sternum? If you have the opportunity to watch a baby breathe, their whole body participates. Everything is breathing. Their limbs, their hands, their fingertips and toes. Everything is in the rhythm of the breath with no restrictions, no holdings. Not enough learning has gone on yet for them to know how they're supposed to be. And notice particularly your belly, your abdomen, above and below the belly button. And notice the amount of freedom that you have there. Is your belly able to expand freely, openly, without the habitual sort of sucking and holding in, which is certainly more common in women, but not unfamiliar to most men. But in our culture today, the look is definitely to suck it in. And that's reinforced by many exercise styles, such as yoga and Pilates. And it's not that sucking in is a bad thing, but when you try to maintain that for all of your activities and postures and movements, it's not creating the effect, the movement throughout your whole self that would allow for the best integration and the greatest amount of support that your breath can offer you. And then one leg at a time, please bend your knees up just for comfort. And then just sense the length of your inhalation and your exhalation. Notice, do you spend more time with one? You spend more time inhaling or more time exhaling? And notice also how many cycles of breath And a complete cycle would go through one inhalation and exhalation. So within that, do you just feel the rhythm of the inhalation or exhalation? Or can you feel a pausing between the inhale and the exhale, and between the exhale and the inhale? And sometimes the pausing is more distinct, and often we just forget the pause and we just go straight from one to the other. And see if you can bring some awareness to that. And bring your attention even deeper to feel what moves when you first inhale. So at the bottom of the exhale, you might sense a short, brief pause. And what's the very first movement as your inhale is initiated? And just in your own mind, describe for yourself the movement progression through the inhalation and exhalation. For some of you, it may start somewhere in the ribs, may start in your lower abdomen. You may feel a supportive holding of some kind in your lower back. And just follow the breath and the movements. And then next time you exhale, exhale fully. So that when you think you've gotten all the air out, you push even a little more and a little more, and just pause at the bottom of that exhale and wait to inhale until your body's asking for it, as if each cell is drawing the air in for oxygen. And relish in that air. And do that a few times, just fully exhaling, pausing at the bottom of the exhale. And as we're focused on this breathing, also notice any other areas of tension, your jaw, your forehead, hands and feet. And then just give it a break. Don't do anything on purpose. Just kind of rest. Feel the breath in your whole self. Enjoy this moment that you're giving to yourself to be aware, to breathe. As I've said many times, if I had only one thing that I could teach, it would be from the breath, your vital life source. And then again, if you've lengthened your legs, please bend your knees up. And this time, as you inhale, see if you can press your lower abdomen out. You may even place your fingertips lightly below your belly button, and very gently. You don't need to force it, and don't try to arch your lower back, but just see if you can access the muscles in your belly that actually press it out. These are muscles often forgotten with the inhale, and then just let it go with the exhale. Note if there are places of effort or strain, trying to press your belly out with the inhalation. And then add to that pressing your chest out or puffing your chest out with the exhalation. So you inhale and you press your lower belly out, and you exhale and you puff your chest out. Now mind you, I'm not giving you directions on proper ways to breathing. The intention of this lesson is to really disrupt the set breathing patterns that you have so something new can become available. So you can sense new possibilities throughout your system. In Feldenkrais, we rarely want to direct somebody towards the right way of moving, because there are hundreds and hundreds of ways to move well. We just want to free you up so you can access more possibilities, more options, so you're not stuck in the same pattern over and over again, limiting your movements and contributing to constrictions and strains and pains. And then just pause the breathing, focus for a moment. Take a couple of just quote normal unquote breaths, whatever that means now. And then reverse it. So as you inhale, you're going to puff your chest out. And as you exhale, you're going to puff your lower belly out. For some people, this may actually feel more normal. Particularly people with breathing restrictions, they often use some of the muscles in their chest and their upper neck to help lift the ribs so that the lungs can inhale. Known as chest breathers. And then see if you can alternate throughout each breath. So many times you may puff your chest and your abdomen out during a single inhale or a single exhale. So really just get that movement going, that alternating sort of a seesaw movement between puffing your chest and puffing your abdomen while you inhale and exhale. So you may be able to seesaw 3 or 4 or 5 times during one inhalation. There's quite a bit of movement actually happening at this point in your abdomen and your chest. And notice while you're doing that seesaw movement, are there places where you pause and sort of hold your breath? Or can you keep the breathing smooth with this more complex action of seesawing the chest and abdomen? And then just let that go, rest. And listen. Can you feel the 4 cycles of the breath? The inhalation, the pause. The exhalation, the pause. And noticing the length of the inhalation, the length of the exhalation. Is anything changing with that? And notice what else do you feel. Awareness in your ribs, your shoulders, your back, your abdomen. So take a moment and just interlace your fingers in front of you, over your chest somewhere. And just feel your fingers interlaced in this comfortable, habitual way. That's how breathing is. That's how all our movement is. Until we wake up to a possibility of something different, we just do it and it feels familiar. So now I want you to feel non-habitual finger lacing. So you're just going to move your fingers one finger over and then interlace them again. And really be alive to how different that sensation is when you move one finger over. See how that lands on your brain, on your sensations. Do you feel more clearly the insides of the different fingers? And then go back to the first way you interlaced them. We call this the habitual way. Feel how that just settles in. You'd never think twice about it until now, and now you always will. Maybe. And one more time, interlace them non-habitually and just feel how much of your sensation comes alive when you do something different. Good, and then just let your hands go. Come back to your breathing. Feeling, sensing the phases. And stop your breath. Just hold it for a brief pause at any phase in the breathing. So maybe halfway during the inhalation, you'll just pause for a moment. Hold your breath. And then you'll continue the inhalation and maybe pause at the top where there's a natural pause. Maybe you'll make it longer. Find varied ways to play with your breath, holding and releasing, holding and releasing. And just watch and feel for other places of efforting while you do this. I'll often see kids, children, just naturally playing with their breath in this way. Or we watch them just wiggling their fingers in some way, or playing with their eyes like I used to as a child, in natural differentiation. So sometimes it's really healthy to just play with something that seems so normal and natural as the breath. And then relax and return to the natural rhythm. Feeling for what's becoming alive. How much of yourself can you feel knowing that you're breathing? Is it expanding any more into your back, your neck, your shoulders and hips, your pelvis? Maybe even your arms and your legs are beginning to feel some result of the inhalation and the exhalation. And then please roll onto your stomachs. If you're not able to lie on your stomach, you can roll onto one of your sides and then try this on both sides. And you can put your head and hands in any comfortable position. One possibility is to put one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead so your head is looking down and you're not kinked to the right or to the left. But you can have your head turned to one side or the other, whichever works well for you. And just feel the breathing in this position. Note the differences. How you feel the front of you pressing into the floor with the inhalation and exhalation. Do you feel more breath in your back? The floor is providing resistance. So does that allow more movement to happen? In the ribs and back of you, into your lower back, into your sacrum. And then intentionally as you breathe in, like we did on our backs, press your belly out. So inhalation, pressing the belly out into the floor, and then just leaving it with the exhalation. And really now feel the response in the low back, in the ribs. And you begin to really sense how the breath comes into the lower back when we exaggerate this abdominal movement in this way. And then include the movement of the chest pressing into the floor with the exhalation. So breathing in, pressing the belly out. Breathing out, pressing the chest out. Feeling the pressure of the floor on the front of you, and also feeling the influence in the back of you. And then reverse that. Pressing the chest out with the inhalation and pressing the abdomen out with the exhalation. And then just take a pause for a moment. Most of us are not used to attending to ourselves in this way, feeling one small thing and then the other. So these lessons are as much about training our attention, choosing to direct our attention purposefully, rather than letting our attention be distracted by others, by circumstances, or just the repetitive thoughts that our minds think each and every day. And again, returning to the breath, and this time the quicker seesaw movement. So you'll extend your belly and your chest several times during an inhalation and during your exhalation. Seesawing, pressing the belly out, pausing, pressing the chest out, pausing. Alternating those. Feeling the unique shape and movement that your spine makes with this. And then let that go. And a few times just inhale, really pressing your belly out, and exhale, letting it go. Breathing in, really pressing, using the floor to discover the ability to press your abdomen out, and letting it go. Now for some people, recently at a class, there was one woman who just couldn't access this ability to press her belly out and was confused and frustrated. So know that this is a possibility. It can take time to really learn to access these outward pressing muscles that we've been not only trained not to use, but we've never been taught that they're even there. Because, God forbid, we would let our bellies out. I think it's probably one of the 10 cultural sins. And let that go. Take a few more breaths on your stomach, feeling your own cycles of inhalation, pausing, exhalation, pausing. Just feel where the movement is in the rest of yourself. And then when you're ready, please return to your backs. And again, just feel. Feel the influence of having been on your stomach now on how you sense your breathing on your back again. And then next time you exhale, make it choppy, kind of a staccato exhale. So you're going to breathe in, and you're going to breathe out. So there'll be a little sound with it. And then you'll breathe in smoothly, filling your trunk. And then staccato exhale. And even allow yourself to make a little sound. If we all make sound, none of us will be embarrassed. And then let that go for a moment. And then make a staccato inhalation with a smooth exhalation. And notice with a little more effort with the staccato breathing, what else tightens? Do you tense in your face or your jaw, your neck or your back, your feet, your abdomen or pelvic floor even? And then again, let that go, just breathing. And now that I warmed you up with the staccato, this time stick your tongue out and really make a noise with the exhalation. So you're going to breathe in, stick your tongue way out. Everybody's eyes are closed, so nobody's seeing your goofy tongue out of your mouth. Isn't it great? Babies who just so they'll just continue, but this time just kind of wipe your tongue around your lips and babble a little bit. Breathing in. I love discovering babies when they're, I don't know, they're just like 2 or 3 months old and they've just discovered that they're the ones making the noise. There might be chocolate for the best baby babble. So put it out there. All right, and let it go. Let it go. And just feel, did that change anything in your chest, in your throat, even the breathing into your abdomen? And just imagine yourself in everyday life. What would it be like to sit up from this lesson and just keep your belly free. Keep it open and soft, unsucked, untucked. And what would it be like to keep your belly free, keep your awareness of breath in your belly as you stand, as you walk around, as you engage with other people? So go ahead and take your time and let your breath be your guide. Take as much time as you need, keeping the fullness with the inhalation in your lower belly. Keeping your attention on your breath, and really notice where's that first place where you tighten your jaw a little bit or pause your breath a little bit to effort your way up. And just take your time and come up to sitting, please. And just remain in sitting, feeling you're sitting now compared to the beginning of the lesson. Just notice for yourself what's changed. And just imagine yourself in your favorite place in the whole world. It might be your own living room, it might be the beach, some sunny, warm place, Hawaii or Arizona. And just feel your breath taking in the warmth or the cold. Your favorite place might be Mount Bachelor, breathing in that view of the sisters. And then for a moment, imagine a difficult situation. Maybe somebody you need to talk to, or somebody you don't like so much, or shopping during Christmas. Just imagine that difficult situation and feel what happens as you get ready to have to talk to somebody or have to find that thing and you don't know where it is in the store, make that phone call. Really imagine that and feel what begins to happen in your trunk, in your chest, with your breath. What would it be like if you could keep this awareness of your breath in that situation and just pause and drop in? Excuse me, sir, I need to get centered so I can really blast you. And just let go back to your favorite place. And then staying with the breath really in the foreground, letting the belly stay full, find a way to come up to standing. Feel any contractions that your belly makes. Find a way to keep it full. And just stand there, feeling this now. Noticing what you feel like, any differences, any changes. And we're going to add something new to our walking today. So just begin walking and feeling movement while this breath is in your awareness, while your belly can stay full and soft. Lo and behold, your back won't fall apart. And just maybe walk backwards or turn around. It's almost as though you're weighted through your belly. If you've been in my office, you've seen my Weeble. And if you're just of a certain time frame, you remember that Weebles wobble and they don't fall down because they have a really good center of gravity. So Just feel that center of gravity in your lower abdomen. And then what I want you to do is keep the breath and just walk up to one other person, hold your hand out, just like you're going to shake hands. You don't have to, you could look at them in the eye, but see if you can keep your breath as you walk up to one person in the room. And just notice how easy or difficult that is. And you've done that with one person, you might try it with another person. And keep breathing. Good. And maybe one more time. Great. Good. And then just continue walking again for a moment. And we'll take some time to share our experiences. And I wish you a wonderful day.